Okay, let's start with the really important stuff. Thanos, the Mad Titan. He's the reason everything is a mess at the moment, and he's the big bad that the remaining Avengers need to defeat if they want to, well, avenge their fallen friends. See, Thanos has a thing for balance. He's also a psychopathic, genocidal commander from a now-defunct planet called Titan, but that aside, he thinks that the universe is overpopulated and there's not enough to go around. So, in an effort to recenter basically everything, Thanos figured that if he killed half of all living creatures across the universe, everything would be rebalanced. There would finally be enough resources to go around and peace would prevail.
With all 6 stones, I could simply snap my fingers. They would all cease to exist, and I call that mercy.
It's like his heart would be in the right place if it didn't involve him literally turning half of life itself into dust. So where is Thanos now? Well, apparently he's into agriculture and is living peacefully all by himself on a farm in some distant galaxy on some isolated planet. As far as retirement plans go, this one's not too bad. But you can't destroy half the universe and not expect a group of people who call themselves the Avengers to not try and avenge everyone. So basically the plot of Avengers Endgame is gonna be our group of heroes finding their way to Thanos and then doing their best to kick the living shit out of it. Now, obviously Thanos didn't go from planet to planet just to kill half of its population. I mean, he did for a while, but I guess the process was like really slow, so he decided to collect these things called Infinity Stones. What are Infinity Stones? The Infinity Stones are these 6 gems that basically contain the power to manipulate the core elements of the universe itself. You have the Time Stone, the Space Stone, the Soul Stone, the Power Stone, the Reality Stone, and the Mind Stone. Whoever wields all 6 of these stones has the power to basically control the universe in some way or form, and by the end of Avengers Infinity War, Thanos had all 6 stones and he used them to destroy half of all living things.
Welcome.
So where did these stones come from? Well, you would have seen these things pop up in various movies over the last 11 years. They're always a thing that the bad guy wants, or Loki steals, or Goose swallows, or Doctor Strange is using to troll a cosmic deity.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
But before that, like way before that, like before the universe was even created, there were 6 singularities: space, time, power, reality, mind, and soul. Then came the universe from this chaos, then came the Celestials, infinity, eternity, entropy, and death. And they created the Infinity Stones to wield the elements of the known universe. They just don't teach you these things in history books. Now, you can't just pick up an Infinity Stone and put it in your pocket. You need something to harness its godlike power. That's why Thanos wears the Infinity Gauntlet at all times. It's a power glove that lets Thanos control the gems. It was made by the Dwarven King Eitri, who, for some reason, looks a lot like Tyrion Lannister. Officially known as
The Desolation.
Which is a bit much, so we'll just stick to calling it the Snap. It was at this second that the Marvel Cinematic Universe went from being, oh cool, superheroes, to, oh fuck, what am I looking at? Once Thanos collects all the Infinity Stones and locks them into place on the Infinity Gauntlet, he wields their full, unfiltered power by snapping his fingers and instantaneously turning half of any and all life forms across the universe to dust. We also lose an entire fleet of heroes during the snap. They basically turn to dust in front of their friends. It's very disturbing. Anyway, the snap is basically the gateway or the catalyst to the events of Avengers Endgame. So, how many good guys actually survived the snap? Here's a quick list. Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Bruce Banner or the Hulk, Thor, War Machine, Ant-Man, Rocket Raccoon, Okoye, Nebula, Hawkeye, or apparently he's Ronin now, M'Baku, Wong is rumored to be alive, Valkyrie is rumored to be alive, and Korg is rumored to be alive. Please let them be alive. Okay, here we go. Here's a list of characters we lost in Avengers Infinity War. Loki is choked by Thanos, Heimdall is stabbed by Thanos, Vision is crushed by Thanos, Gamora is pushed off a cliff by... Holy shit, this movie is dark, right? And here's a list of people who were snapped to dust. Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis, Groot, Black Panther, Winter Soldier, Wanda aka Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Nick Fury, Maria Hill, Hank Pym, Hope Pym, James Van Dyne, whole family turns to dust at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, Shuri is said to be missing in the Avengers teaser, so we don't know if that means she's dead. The posters show her as dead, Probably not, because the same system also shows Scott Lang is missing and he shows up pretty much alive and well, so... I know I said Gamora is dead, but the way she died is suspect, and she might be the key to reversing this giant clusterfuck. See, Gamora was sacrificed by Thanos to obtain the Soul Stone. It's a soul-for-soul type situation, you know how it is. But at the end of Avengers Infinity War, during a brief temporal freeze in between the snap, we see Thanos in this eerie fire-orange setting talking to a much younger Gamora. Now, this could be part of Thanos' psyche or conscience, or maybe for a brief second he drifted into the afterlife himself, but there's a lot of reason to believe that this plane is actually inside the Soul Stone. Keep in mind that the Infinity Stones control different elements in their own special way. Some manipulate time and space, while others harness infinite energy, but the Soul Stone is unique in the sense that it contains an entire subdimension within itself, which means there's every reason to believe that Gamora, whose life was traded for the Soul Stone in the first place, is alive inside this pocket dimension. Heck, that's probably where everyone else is as well, just chilling, waiting to be rescued.
Time for the ball, baby.
Damn.
By the end of Captain Marvel, we see Carol Danvers give Nick Fury a modified version of his pager, and she tells him to only use it to call her when there's an emergency. In the post-credit scene of Avengers Infinity War, Fury is basically turning to ash, so I guess that constitutes as an emergency. He summons his old friend from across the universe, and in the post-credit scene of Captain Marvel, we actually see her heed the call and show up at Avengers HQ. Captain Marvel is undeniably the secret weapon in all this. We'll just have to see if she's going to be able to tip the scales against the Mad Titan. Speaking of secret weapons though, where's Goose? If you really want to tip the scales, release the Flurkin.
Hi, I'm Scott.
Scott Lang, aka Ant-Man, might just be the most important character in this entire saga. At the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Jane Van Dyne tells Scott to be careful when going subatomic because taking a wrong turn could lead him to tears in the space-time continuum, or something along those lines.
And don't get sucked into a time vortex. We won't be able to save you.
Basically, she drops hints about time travel being a possibility here. We know it exists thanks to the Eye of Agamotto and the Time Stone, so the concept isn't new to this universe. Now, Scott gets trapped in the quantum realm at the end of the movie because his handlers, Hank, Hope and Jane, all turn to dust before they can get him out of there. So Scott is assumed dead until he shows up on the Avengers' doorstep, which means he's found a way out of the realm and possibly unlocked a way to use it to his advantage. He also has the minivan with him that houses the reactor, so there's that. In Avengers Endgame, the survivors of the snap have 1 in a 14,605,000 chance to defeat Thanos. Doctor Strange has, or had, since he didn't survive the snap, the ability to warp to different dimensions and realities to see if they held the outcome he desires. He does this in Avengers Infinity War and sees 14,605,000 scenarios in which the Avengers fight Thanos, and in those 14,605,000 times, our heroes only win
1.